Hello and welcome to the Target UPSC Prelims 2024 MCQ series. The subject for today is geography and this is the fourth episode of geography. So let's begin. The first question talks about, with reference to the characteristics of tropical cyclones, consider the following statements. So there are four statements given. First, there is considerable uniformity in the size of a tropical cyclone. They move forward at a certain speed. If they affect only the coastal parts of the continents. The path of tropical cyclones varies from region to region. Which of the above statements is or are correct? Only 1 and 4, only 1, 2 and 3, only 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the correct answer for this is option C, that is only 3 and 4. So 3 and 4 are correct while 1 and 2 is incorrect. So let's see. See, if we talk about cyclones, so cyclones are basically a energy which originates in the open ocean, and they need certain specific temperature. Like for example, it has to be around 27 degrees Celsius. Then they need Coriolis force for its circular movement. Then they need low temperature and low pressure in the middle, that is called the eye of the cyclone. So it is basically a energy which originates in open ocean and it moves in circular direction and it brings high wind, rainfall with it, and that causes destruction. And cyclone are of two types, tropical and temperate. So the cyclones formed between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. So between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, that is 23.5 degrees north and 23.5 degrees south. So the cyclones formed between them, Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, are known as tropical cyclones. Tropical cyclones come in various sizes, so it is not that the size is always fixed, and the range can be from 80 to 300 kilometers in diameter, although sometimes they can be less than 50 kilometers, and their speed is also not fixed, so the speed also varies. Sometimes they are fast, sometimes they are slow. Like for example, the Amphan cyclone was fast in speed, and they can move at speeds exceeding 32 to 200 kilometers per hour, and they affect only the coastal parts of the continents, because when they reach continent they lose their speed and so they do not move much inside. The path of tropical cyclones varies from region to region. That is absolutely correct, because if we will see that the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats, they experience different type of cyclones, and the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal also. So third and fourth are correct, while first and two are incorrect. So the correct answer is option C, that is only 3 and 4. Next question. Consider the following statements. So there are three statements given. First, tropical cyclones do not form because the Coriolis force at the equator is 0 and the winds below at right angle to the tidal lines. Second, at an altitude of about 3 kilometers above the Earth's surface, the winds in the upper atmosphere are controlled by pressure gradients and the Coriolis force. Winds that are friction free and flow parallel to the tidal lines are called geostrophic winds. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only 3, 1, 2 and 3. Correct answer is option D, that is 1, 2 and 3. It means that all the three statements are correct. So tropical cyclones we have discussed. If we talk about Coriolis force, so it is a type of force which actually gives direction to the cyclone. So the circular movement of cyclone is because of the Coriolis force. And then if we talk about, so Coriolis force is the main thing, and then the geostrophic winds. So let's see. See, the Coriolis force acts perpendicular to the pressure gradient. So whatever is the pressure gradient, the Coriolis force will act perpendicular to it. The pressure gradient force is oriented along isobars. So the isobars are regions which have same air pressure. The stronger the pressure gradient force, the higher the wind speed. So the wind speed and the pressure gradient force are directly proportional. Due to the cancellation of the Coriolis force on the equator and the parallel flow of winds along isobars, instead of being more intense, the low pressure areas become depleted, preventing the formation of tropical cyclones. So it prevents the formation of tropical cyclones. When the isobars are straight and there is no effect of friction, the pressure gradient force balances the Coriolis force and the winds start flowing parallel to the isobars, and these are called geostrophic winds. Therefore, all three statements are correct. So, all statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Next, third, consider the following statements about the roaring 40s. First, they are powerful westerly winds found in the oceans of the southern hemisphere. Second, due to the strong east to west wind flow, east to west means this direction. There is a combination of wind and earth rotation shifting from the equator to the south pole and a plethora of land masses acting as wind breaks. Which of the above statement is or are correct? Only one, only two, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Correct answer is option A, that is 1 only. So first is correct, second is wrong. Let's see. So if we talk about the roaring 40s, so roaring 40s are also known as the furious 40, and they are very powerful westerly winds which are found in the southern hemisphere oceans. So they are found in the southern hemisphere ocean. So they are powerful westerly winds found in the oceans of the southern hemisphere. So this is correct. Then indeed, compared to the northern hemisphere, the flow of winds in the southern hemisphere is more steady and consistent, and their optimal development occurs between 40 and 65 degrees south latitude because the amount of continental land masses here is minimal. Therefore, due to their intense speed in the southern hemisphere, these westerly winds are also referred to based on latitudinal position as the 60s. So they are also called the 60s. So first is correct and second is wrong. So due to the strong east to west wind flow, while they are called westerly, so it has to be west to east. There is a combination of wind and earth rotation shifting from the equator to the south pole and a plethora of land masses acting as a wind breaks. First is wrong, first is correct, second is wrong. Next, in the absence of a cold Labrador current, which one of the following would occur? A. There shall be no northeast Atlantic fishing zones. B. There shall be no northwest Atlantic fishing zones. C. There shall be no fishing areas in the North Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic coast of USA and Canada will be semi-arid. Correct answer for this is option B. So, there shall be no northwest Atlantic fishing zones. Let's see. If we talk about the cold Labrador current, it flows southward along the coast of Labrador from the Labrador Sea and the Davis Strait. Southward meaning that the direction is like this, coming from the north towards the south, meeting the eastern Greenland current of the southern coast of Greenland. Further ahead, this combined current meets the warm Gulf Stream near the Grand Banks of the coast of Newfoundland. So, the Labrador current is a cold current and it meets with the Gulf Stream, which is a warm current, and this is near the Grand Banks. The upwelling between the Labrador and Gulf Stream currents causes an increase in plankton population. This is the important point, that the region where the cold current and the warm current meets, it creates ideal condition for the increasing the population of the plankton, which provides sufficient food for fishes, and that is why when fishes find their food sufficient in nature, the quantity of fish increases. This is the reason for the development of important Northwest Atlantic fishing areas such as the Grand Banks and the George Bank. Therefore, in the absence of the Labrador Current, no Northwest Atlantic fishing areas will develop. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. There shall be no Northwest Atlantic fishing zones. Next, match list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answer using the codes given below the list. List 1 is about oceanic current while list 2 is about coast. So, Humboldt, North Atlantic Drift, Benguela, Agulhas. And the coast is Namibia, Angola, Chile, Peru, Mozambique, Madagascar, United Kingdom, Norway. So we have to match it. And if you people don't know any of it, there is one ocean current out of which you must have heard, and that is the Humboldt. And Humboldt we all know is with regard to Chile and Peru. So let's see, A is 2. So A is 2, it means C and D becomes eliminated because A has only 2. And North Atlantic Drift. When we talk about North Atlantic Drift, then if you will look at North Atlantic, so focus on the region of the North Atlantic Ocean. So the North Atlantic Ocean will be UK and Norway. So B is 4. B is 4 is option B. So A also gets eliminated. So the correct answer would be option B. So that is A 2, that is Humboldt is Chile and Peru. B is 4, North Atlantic Drift is United Kingdom, Norway. C is 1, that is Benguela is Namibia and Angola. And D is 3, that is Agulhas is Mozambique and Madagascar. Let's see. So the Humboldt current is also known as the Peruvian current, and it is a cold water current. It lies in the southern Pacific Ocean and it flows south to the north along the west coast of South America. So if imagine this is South America and this is the way how Humboldt or Peruvian current flow, and it is parallel to the coast of Chile and Peru and it merges into the South Equatorial current. Next comes the North Atlantic Drift. So from the Grand Banks, the Gulf Stream turns eastward under the influence of westerly winds and flows across the Atlantic Ocean to northwest Europe as the North Atlantic Drift. It is a warm water current and it flows from relatively low latitude to high latitude. Then the Benguela current is a cold water current in the southern Atlantic Ocean. So the southern part of the Atlantic Ocean, it flows north along the west coast of South Africa parallel to the coast of Namibia and Angola, and this water course is one of the factors of the origin of Kalahari Desert. Then comes the next, which is Agulhas stream. It is a warm water stream, lies in the Indian Ocean. The Mozambique current and the Madagascar current meet south of the island of Madagascar and flow jointly, and this combined stream is known as the Agulhas Dhara. So the correct answer is option B. Next, consider the following statements about the Gulf Stream. It is similar to the Kuroshio current of the North Pacific Ocean. It carries warm tropical waters towards the polar regions. Third, this current is a major factor in the weather near the east coast of the USA. Fourth, the warm waters of the Gulf Stream sustain the coral reefs of the western Pacific coast. How many of the above mentioned statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, only 3, all of the above. Correct answer is option C. Option C is only 3. Let's see. If we talk about Gulf Stream, it is also known as the Gulf Stream current. The Florida current is called the Gulf Stream current from Hatteras interpolation to the Grand Banks of Newfoundland Island. So the Gulf Stream is a warm water current and it flows poleward in the Atlantic Ocean. Poleward. It means this is pole, this is equator, so the direction will be polewards, assisting in transporting warm tropical water towards polar region. As the movement of water or the movement of current takes the type of current, so the type of same water they take with them. The Gulf Stream primarily flows along the eastern coast of the United States, which serves as a major factor in the region's weather patterns. The Gulf Stream contributes significantly to the presence of coastal coral reefs along the southern Florida coast in the Atlantic Ocean. So, the warm waters of the Gulf Stream sustain the coral reefs of the western Pacific coast. So, it is about the Gulf Stream contributes significantly to the presence of coastal coral reefs along the southern Florida coast in the Atlantic Ocean. So, it is not first of all about the Pacific coast, Atlantic coast, and it is about the southern Pacific. Then, the Gulf Stream of the Atlantic Ocean is similar to the Kuroshio current of the North Pacific Ocean, which is also a warm current. In fact, the Kuroshio current also transports warm tropical water towards the polar region. Therefore, first is current. It is similar to the Kuroshio current of the North Pacific Ocean. It carries warm tropical water towards the polar region. This current is a major factor in the weather near the coast of the US. The warm waters of the Gulf Stream sustain the coral reefs of the western Pacific coast. This is wrong. Atlantic coast. So, fourth is wrong. So, 3 are correct. That is why the correct answer is option C. That is only 3. Next. The Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the ocean. Which one of the following statement is not true? It is asking about the incorrect statement. It is located in the western Pacific Ocean west of the Mariana Islands. The depth of this trench was first measured during the Challenger expedition in 1875. This trench is about 2,550 kilometers long with an average width of only 69 kilometers. The water column above the bottom of the trench exerts more than 1000 times the standard atmospheric pressure at sea level. Correct answer is option A. It means out of these 4, option A is the incorrect one. All 3 are correct. Let's see. So the Mariana Trench is the deepest trench in the world, located east of the Mariana Islands in the western Pacific Ocean. So it is located east of the Mariana Islands, not west. The depth of this semi-lunar trough is about 11,022 meters. The depth of this trench was first measured during the Challenger expedition in 1875, in which vegetated rope was used. The length of this trench is approximately 2,550 kilometers with an average width of 69 kilometers. The water column above it exerts pressure more than 1000 times the standard atmospheric pressure at sea level, resulting in increased density of water. Therefore, B, C and D are correct and A is incorrect. Next, how is La Nina different from El Nino? First, La Nina is characterized by frigid ocean temperature in the equatorial Indian Ocean, while El Nino is characterized by hot ocean temperature in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. Second, El Nino hurts the southwest monsoon of India, but La Nina does not affect the monsoon climate. Which of the above statements are correct? Only one, only two, both one and two, neither one nor two. Correct answer is option D, that is neither one nor two. It means both the statements are wrong. Let's see. The La Nina is a cold water current originating from the coastal regions of Peru, whereas El Nino is a warm water current that originates parallel to the coast of Peru, moving from north to south. Due to this flow, there is an unprecedented increase in temperature in the Southeast Pacific Oceanic region. Many times its effect is observed across the entire Pacific Ocean surface. The flow region of La Nina, like El Nino, is particularly the coastal area of Peru in the Pacific region. So the country involved is Peru and Chile. It never enters the Indian Ocean region, but the impact of both phenomena is global. Therefore, statement 1 is incorrect because it never enters the Indian Ocean. While the Indian monsoon is more intense in the year when the La Nina current intensifies, the El Nino negatively affects the Indian monsoon. Therefore, 2 is also false. So, both the statements are incorrect. Next, consider the following factors: Earth's rotation, air pressure and wind, density of ocean water, revolution of the earth. Which of the above factors affects ocean current? 1 and 2 only, 1, 2 and 3, 1 and 4 only, 2, 3 and 4. Correct answer is option B, that is 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. So fourth does not affect ocean currents. So let's see. Factors affecting the origin and movement of ocean currents. Factors related to revolution of the earth, earth's rotation, deflecting force, the external sea factor, atmospheric pressure and its variation, wind direction, rain, evaporation. Ocean related factors: temperature difference, salinity, density, ice melts, pressure gradient. Thus the first three factors are correct concerning the factors affecting ocean currents. The fourth factor is incorrect because the revolution of the earth does not affect the origin of the ocean currents. So revolution of earth is not associated. Rest, earth's rotation, air pressure and wind, density of ocean water are factors. Next, match list 1 with list 2 and choose the correct answer using the code given below. List 1 is current, list 2 is ocean. Gulf Stream, Humboldt Current, Falkland Current, Agulhas Current. Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, North Atlantic Ocean, Southern Atlantic Ocean. So the correct answer for this is option B, that is A3, that is Gulf Stream is North Atlantic Ocean. B is 2, that is Humboldt Current is Pacific Ocean. C is 4, that is Falkland Current is South Atlantic Ocean. And D is 1, that is Agulhas Current is Indian Ocean. So Pacific Ocean, Humboldt Current, which is a cold current. North Atlantic Ocean is Gulf Stream, warm. Southern Atlantic Ocean, Falkland Current, cold current. And Indian Ocean, Agulhas Current, warm current. Next, and this is a practice question, and like always, you people will give me the answer in the comment section. Which of the following special rights have been granted by the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, also known as UNCLOS, to the coastal states located in exclusive economic zones? First, establishment and use of artificial islands. Second, marine scientific research. Third, protection and conservation of marine environment. Select the correct answer using the code given below. 1 and 3 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So give me the answer in the comment section. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading, keep writing and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.